Good morning, everybody. My name is Bobbie Richardson. This is another Ascension Messages. I will be a guide for today. Today we're going to be talking about a message that I got from Spirit on the morning of the 14th of January as I was waking up. So I've literally created a video for this one, and I'm going to try something different. So we're going to have a chat, we're going to watch the video, and then we're going to have a chat. I'm doing it this way too with the premiere things because I found it easier to channel information through while I'm just doing these recorded messages. And then when we gather for the premiere, I can like chat to you guys on the sidebar. So it's actually quite a win-win situation there. Who knows though, possibly in the near future, I could be doing lives as well and literally answer your questions too. I do readings, one-off card readings or very quick card readings for you guys for free once a week. So that's usually on a Tuesday morning, could be Wednesday, could be Monday, depending on what's happening in my life. So look out for those. I will try to give you, even on YouTube, I might do in my community thing, heads up, I'm going to be going live, blah, blah, maybe. I definitely usually do that on Facebook. So that's usually restreamed, by the way. I'm an author illustrator of 2 children's books, and I've created fortune dice, which is all for sale on my Etsy. Plus I'm bringing in new products which have my art on it. I have a lot of art, so eventually I'm going to be just pouring out all my art. An elder saw my art once and said that there's codes in that art, so it's kind of a win-win situation. I help guide you with this art, and if you feel attracted to it, then something for you. And I also get some sort of monetary gain so that I can do this full time. I would really love to be able to produce more and more videos, and all the messages that my guides are sending through to me just pour out to you guys. It's a lot of work, and I've been doing this work for quite a few years now and really getting very, very little money from it, but it comes from my heart, and it doesn't matter if I do get money or not. I'm still going to do it because it's my soul's calling and I love doing what I'm doing. So that aside, but it just would help me immensely, that's all, to completely quit my day job, which is a lot less these days. Everything's starting to get better and better and better for me, honestly. I'm pretty excited. Plus I have an interview coming that will be published from Kevin Moore, so look out for the Kevin Moore show, subscribe to him. I'm going to be on it. And he did actually say that he wants to be back on the video, so I'm pretty excited about all of that. Plus he has something else in the wing that he's asked me to be a part of. So I'm really excited about my future at the moment with all of this. And I just love guiding you guys through the messages that I'm getting. Because sometimes when I get messages, right, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So I'm learning as well as we go along. Now, I've got my book here. One of my books, I have like literally written just oodles cawoodles of information and dreams and connections and stuff like that, from drawing pictures and all that, from messages. This is from years gone by. We're talking, some of these are in 2016, 2018, and but I brought it out because I remembered that there was a very quick message to do with what I was told recently, and that's going on the video that you're going to see in a minute. But I'll just bring it up to begin with, and then we'll watch the video, and then at the end I will talk about the video again and the messages that were coming through. So I woke up on the 14th of January, and this is how it happens sometimes. They call it Twilight. It's when I'm living in half in their world, half in this world. So it's like they can give me a message, and my brain can literally take that that feeling, that knowing, and wake up and then type it out, because it's still very fresh in my my field, my energy field. So I woke up with a knowing, and it was to do with bringing heaven to earth, which is really where we're stepping into. And what I do is I just open up my word, and I have this big, huge channel page, which I've, like, this is only part of, like, a small part of all of the information that's come through for me, because I ran out of cartridge. But I also have another lot that's before this lot. So this is half of what I've written through for 2021. And then I've got before 2021 as well. So there's a book there for sure. So what I do is I open up the word, and then I will just have that feeling, that knowing, and then I just let it pour through me. And I can hear, it's like they guide me with each word. Sometimes I literally write words that I'm thinking, if I've got my logical brain in the way, my logical brain will be going, where are we going? What is this about? I don't understand. But I literally have to take my logical brain out of the equation, and then I just let it flow, let the message flow through from word to word, and it always seems to make sense in the end. You know, I might go through it later on and clean up some of the spelling mistakes, and sometimes I can feel what they were trying to say, and my brain's gone too fast to write the whole thing out. So I'll go, oh, I remember that there was a little bit there that's not quite encapsulating what they were trying to talk about, and I might add a bit later. But most of it, like, I could write paragraph after paragraph very, very quickly, and there's no alterations. It's just channeled message. So that's a little bit how I do this when it comes to writing the stuff out. The beginning of this message, we're talking about sleep, and the importance sleep is not to our bodies, but to our souls. So way back, I think it was about 3 years ago, I got this message through to say that why we need sleep. It's not only for our bodies, it's needed to be, we need to recoup for our souls. So otherwise, we literally go crazy. You know, if somebody ever stays awake for a long, long, long time, they literally go crazy. Why do they go crazy? It's because their soul yearns to return back to source, to heaven, or whatever, utopia, whatever you want to call it. Literally wants to go back to its original place. It can't hold, our souls can't hold this separated illusion for longer than 24 hours, 36 hours, whatever, 48 hours before it'll do anything to get back. So it will literally give you illusions and stuff. It literally will try to force you to go back. I know there's the exception to the rule. There's always going to be the exception to the rule, because that's how growth happens, is that there are people out there that don't need sleep, right? And you're probably fine with those people that don't need sleep. They probably are quite creative people. They probably reside in two-dimensional spaces anyway, and they probably have mini naps, or where their soul can jump from one to another frequency to another very easily as well. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling into that now a little bit. But we definitely need sleep, for not just for our bodies to recoup, but for our souls to recoup as well. So that's one thing I wanted to bring up before the beginning of this video. I will talk about some more of the video afterwards. Just thinking, is there any more messages to come through? I have been given some more information last night about the previous video that I was talking about. So I'm still, last night was really amazing. Like I woke up at like 1:30 and it was just like they were answering every single question I had. So I'd ask about the light bubbles and the frequencies, and I asked about, you know, potential of humanity, how we could morph in and out of different realities, and all sorts of things that I was asking about. It was like boom, 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 there's the answer. And then, you know, and just like, I'll remember all that. And then I went back to sleep because I was tired as well. I literally got up and went on Facebook for about 5 minutes and fell straight back to sleep again. So this morning, I know that information is with me now, but I'm still needing to, internalize it. And also, I think that I have a feeling someone's going to ask the questions, and when someone asks the questions, then I will answer the answers, right? I'll have the answers for that moment. Sometimes that happens to me as well. So yeah, there's some great potentials that are going to start coming up for humanity in this near future. We're literally going to learn to bring heaven on earth through our openings, through us opening our realities up. So that's really exciting stuff too. Interesting. Glasses. I'll just quickly read this out. This was written on 17th of October 2020. New creation begin. Let the new creation begin. Humanity has been in lockdown for eons, the lockdown being played out in this moment of time. And 2020 is just the true reflection of what has been taking place for many thousands of years. It is right before humanity now, so that you can see as plain as the nose on your face, so you can shift it, because you cannot shift what you are not aware of. Take this moment in time to burst through the program, to shine your talents, your magnificence as human warriors of a planet filled with so much wisdom and knowledge through the plant and animal life living here, as well as Earth herself. You are the caretakers, the wisdom holders. You have the ability to tune into any other living creature and learn from it, to use this wisdom to create even more amazing things upon this planet. You don't need to dissect anything. You could never gain the amount of wisdom through killing any life form, as your scientists try. But if you learn to use your emotions and your connections, you can feel into and understand more than 1,000 encyclopedias. Logic is only half of the true power. The other half is within your intuition and imagination. This, combined with the arousal and freedom of your emotions, you have it within you to truly move mountains and create whatever you wish. The lesson past was that you now know you have a responsibility to the whole, to source energy, to creation itself, to not blindly use your powers to manipulate, but rather express your inner desires and trust that as a whole, it will be in sync with every other life form and dimension. Trust your heart to guide your emotions, your mind, and your body. Let the new creations begin. Wow, that's so interesting, because I didn't read this before I sat down here. I just got the book because of the sleep soul sleep thing, that's what I found, tripped up over it. And just as I was going to shut the book, I thought, oh, I'll read this bit out. I felt a pull to read it. Obviously, that's my guidance. And when you see the video that I just produced, it's the same message, but I got this message on the 17th of October in 2020. So it's obviously this similar message coming through over and over again for a reason, right? Really beautiful. Let's get into the movie. When we sleep, it gives our soul time to return home. Home is what many perceive as heaven or utopia, whichever feels right for you to use. When we are there, we report back to others who are curious about our story and progress of creation. Many light workers come from this place, living in what humanity would call soul families or different energetic fractions. These can also be seen from a human's perspective as different planets. For the planetary system, mostly believed in on Earth at this moment, is the manifestation of a reality created as a training ground or separated world to learn to become creator gods or developed souls. That once passed, this lesson can have more leeway to create even more. This mass awakening has happened because the divine timing has come full circle and the lessons for many is nearly over. Being that many souls have done a full cycle and they wish to expand. This has happened before and it will keep happening, as the learning center and the limited reality will always be, due to the brilliant creation of this amazing training ground called Earth. This needed to be controlled, as the controlling system represents the border of the soul learning to create, likened to a contained classroom. This is why many are seeing this system or leadership failing and falling now on Earth, because of this mass awakening, where others whose soul is not yet ready to leave the training ground will see a different story. They will see the story of the system even taking more of a stronghold on their reality and allowing it to happen, keeping them in the mind loops. This is all meant to take place for them. But for those now listening to this message, we are ready to step outside of the limited program, take hold of our own creative reins, and move through our hearts into working with our environment as part of us, as we recognize all comes from us. This is the split of consciousness that is now taking place. Now is the time to create more on a higher frequency of Earth, and thus bringing heaven to Earth from a human's perspective. It is all in one's perceptions of reality. The more perceptions one can master, the easier it is to find a way home, while still being fully present upon this learning ground of this reality. So, tapping into animals, seeing life as an observer, inventing new ways of seeing reality, exploring unknown realities that only reside as lost fables, seeking space brothers and sisters, or asking guides from the etheric realms, all gift one with more perceptions and therefore many more doors and paths to choose to finding a way home. Then, once a door has opened for the soul to explore, they can use this information or wisdom to create their way into living in harmony with all again, creating a harmonic story for their present moment soul to explore. Okay, so our borders and how we've created borders in our reality, our limitations, is our soul needing to have those so that we stay limited and small and learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn without meddling into other frequencies and other dimensions. And it's only when we've learned to come from our hearts and that all outside of us is part of us, that love is the creation of everything that we wish for, and fear is the creation of everything that we don't like. Fear is literally the soul separated itself so far that it hits a border, and that border is that fear. As soon as you feel fear, you stop moving, you stop evolving, you stop trying to do something else. Procrastination comes in, and you literally stop trying to push. It's kind of like if you were a kid and you could see into other dimensions, and then your mum came at you and said, "Don't do that, that's not accepted, you shouldn't do that, that's crazy, they're going to put you in a straitjacket," and then she puts all that fear into you. It limits you. You all of a sudden you'll go, "Oh, I can't do that, I'm too scared to do that, I'm not going to do that anymore, I'm not going to allow it." And it limits you. It limits your expansion of your soul, right? So fear is the boundaries. Fear is the borders of where we go. So now Prime Creator wants us to burst through those fears, wants us to take a deep breath. And even though there's other people that aren't aligned with what we're talking about, that we just stand in our power and say, we know what we're getting from this. The gain is worth it. The gain is worth more than what our peers and brothers and sisters and parents and good friends and that want to stay in that limited fear game pushing on to us, that they're literally trying to hold their program into the small bubble that they have, so that they feel worthy of their existence. Because of that, if they look too far out of it, they're scared what that literally turns them into. And the most amazing thing is, all it does is bring you more authenticity. It literally shows you more power. It gives you, and that's what humanity is kind of afraid of, their own power. That's why we were shut down to begin with, because we are very powerful beings, because we have such a strong imagination, and we can literally feel into very vast worlds. And it's being contained in, it's been locked into fables and locked into just stories and told, it's still there, which is fantastic, but it's literally been shown to us as what we can't extend past that. Now, if the program keeps on using our imagination for fear, what happens is we produce more and more fear-based movies, and we produce more fear-based news, media, and everything, and that ends up limiting us, so that we don't step into using our imagination properly. But our imagination holds a lot of information from our soul's lineage, of our soul, where it's been. It holds information of different frequencies, different realities, Earth herself, living with other beings. It's so vast And when it comes from the heart, when it comes from love, when it comes from, I want to explore this and move into it like a beautiful adventure, innocent adventure, like a child moving into an innocent adventure, then it will expand your reality into such vastness that you literally have, like the movie said, that I just showed you, many doors to open. And the many doors are you stepping past the limitations into what you love more and more and more. So your soul personally might be really in tune with, I get excited when I think about, you could call it, you could say anything, communicating with animals. And wolf is my most favorite animal of all times. It's not mine, like all animals are mine. I'm just saying this is a scenario or a story. So wolf is my most favorite animal of all time. So what we'd do then is that's the passion of our heart. It'll lead us into the wolf energy. The wolf energy will give us some new clues. And that wolf energy could be how to learn to work as a pack animal and an individual, how to combine those two so that we gift ourselves our own individual flavor plus learn to work in a pack. Or it could be the magic of how to learn to live in the wild, with the wild. And then you'll take that information and you go, well, now I want to branch into how humanity can do that. How can humanity do that? And so it opens the doorway, and it just keeps doing. So you just keep peeling back, but you're coming from your heart and all the excitement of who you are and your soul. Now that's following your soul. It's following your soul lineage and your soul's calling, rather. Your soul's calling into new frequencies. And it's stepping away from the limited fear-based program. If you feel like at this point, being a light worker, that you need to do this on your own, do it on your own, but do it with passion and do it from your heart. And if you get excited about it, I know in 2022, soul families are going to start to really come together now. So we're going to find each other, that we can talk to each other about these new things as well. I know I'm forming a small community even here with these Ascension messages, and that community will hopefully, grow into something even more. But I love where it's going at the moment. So yeah. So there's a lot more to life, and there's a lot more coming, and it's literally up to you and your choices where you want to go. How do you want to deal with this? How do you want to, what's your next move? What makes you feel good? That's what I would be asking myself. Okay, so I'll say goodbye for now. Love you guys heaps. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, night, whatever moment. Bye.